and welcome to today's Cooking with Jenny. Yay. All right, so we are going to do a spin-off of a Tex Mex brick chicken dish. I will link the recipe below, as usual. So if you guys want to make the actual recipe as opposed to my docked up recipe, then there you go. Usually when I find recipes, if I don't have all the ingredients or if I don't know how to exactly do the recipe, for example, this recipe calls for a whole chicken. Well, I wasn't going to buy a whole entire chicken. At the moment, one of the steps is to char the chicken. Well, it's supposed to do, like, break it down and then char it. Then you take your peppers, chipotle peppers, and your habanero and put them in the chicken, get them kind of flavored up, whatever. However, what I'm doing is I am boiling some hot water right now. Boiling some hot water right now because I'm going to take my habanero and put it in a cup, pour the hot water over the habanero to let it get soft, and then I will remove the skins and the seeds and dice it up really finely. I'm not going to char it in a cast iron skillet yet, only because, well, why was I not going to char it? I could broil it or char it, but I decided this way it might be a little bit easier. So I just covered it with a clean washcloth. And we're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, give or take, or until the water's basically cold. Then I will take it off, remove the skin, remove the seeds, chop it up really finely. Technically, you were supposed to use a mortar and pestle, whatever it's called. I do not have one. But once that is done and I dice it up, I'm not going to finally mix it. I'm probably just going to leave it finely chopped. Or I might just figure out how to roll something over it and like put it in a baggie and roll something over it and then like make a paste. I do already have chipotle pepper paste, so let me show you guys here. So that kind of eliminates the chipotle peppers. But I bought this right here for a different recipe that I made in the past. I didn't mean to buy the paste, but that saves me a huge step in this recipe because I don't have to like do everything. That's step one that I am working on right now. And then once the pepper is pretty much softened, then I will go ahead and do that. Oh, by the way, I did use chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs for this recipe.
Don't look at me like that.
Once it's pre-cooked, then I will add all the other ingredients, let it marinate until like later on tonight. And on that note, that's the intro, and that's the longest intro in the world. Let's pull up my recipe here. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just put a tablespoon of the chipotle pepper stuff in there, just because I don't know how much to actually use. I might actually just leave the chicken in this bowl instead of turning up a new bowl. 1 tablespoon. That may not look enough. I'm going to go ahead and put another tablespoon because you know what? We're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it here. Like I said, I'm docking up this recipe. I pretty much dock up most of my recipes anyway. We're going to do the oregano. once you got all of that part, then you take 4 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And then it also says a generous pinch of sea salt flakes, which, well, we don't have sea salt flakes, so just salt, that looks good. That looks good. All right, so we have the 2 dried chipotle chilies, or 2 tablespoons of chipotle paste. We have the 1, actually it was only supposed to be a 1/4 to a 1/2 of habanero chili to taste.
Are you out of your mind? Don't you dare!
We have the 4 tablespoons of olive oil, the juice of 1 orange, which if you saw, why do I always say if you saw? Obviously I was filming it.
You're out of your mind.
But I know there is probably a better way to juice a orange without a juicer, but that's the best as I got. 2 teaspoons of fresh oregano, 2 garlic cloves roughly chopped, and 1 whole chicken. Well, we don't have the whole chicken, so we're just going to do it this way. Let me get a whisk out. Whisk. All right, we got my whisk, and we're going to whisk this up here.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to go ahead and drain the chicken fat out of this, and I have to chop up the chicken. Alright, so what I'm going to do now that the marinade is done, I was going to pour it over this chicken, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shred the chicken. I'm going to put it into a different casserole dish, and I'm going to put the marinade on top of it and let it chill out for a while. So I decided not to use the casserole dish to marinate the chicken because I already had the marinade in the bowl. Why dirty up another dish? So I'm going to let this chill out in the fridge for a few hours. It is 3:18 now, so probably about 8 o'clock, depending on the triplet schedule, I'll probably go ahead and start the rest of the meal. So on the net, this is going in the fridge, and I'll see you guys in a few hours, which will be a few minutes for you guys, or a few seconds. If I can find my off. All right, welcome back to a few hours later for me. All right, so now that the chicken is marinating, I am going to start to frijoles. I can't even say that word. Basically, what you want to do is melt butter in a large saucepan over high heat. When the butter is foaming, add the onion, garlic, and fry for 6 to 8 minutes or until softened but not colored. Now, I do have an onion. I do have my garlic that I will go ahead and chop up and then get the butter ready. And then it says we need coriander, and for those of you who do not know, coriander and cilantro are the exact same thing. Coriander, I think, is the raw form of cilantro, or cilantro is the raw form of coriander. Either way, it depends on what part of the world you are in. Cilantro and coriander are the exact same thing. So I have 1 small bunch here. I will be removing the stalks. I will be roughly chopping the rest of it, and we'll be using the rest of it in the recipe. So let me go ahead and pause you guys so I can check on the triplets, and we will get to chopping. Okay. Alright, then it says to add 2 cans of Mexican beans. However, I could not find Mexican beans, so I improvised, and I'm going to use 2 cans of chili beans. So it'll probably taste like chili, but you know what, we're just going to work with it. So, and yes, add all of it Do not drain it. And what you want to do after that, after you add the beans, you want to have that turn up into medium high and let it boil for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do not cover it though. So we're going to let that boil. I have it on medium high right now, so we're going to let that boil, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay. All right, once it gets to a good charred looking consistency, then you're supposed to pour this over the chicken. Technically, what you're supposed to do is take the whole chicken after it's broken down and charred and marinated and put bricks over it or something or other. You guys can read the recipe if you want. But what I'm going to do is, now that this part is pretty much cooked down, I'm just going to go ahead and add the chicken marinated stuff. And then I'm going to make sure that the chicken is really cooked thoroughly. Because like I said, I pre-cooked the chicken. So it's pretty much cooked. All I have to do is make sure that it's really cooked. I'm going to turn this back up to about medium, and I'll stir this around. So after this is reheated, the chicken is cooked thoroughly and reheated, then you can put it in taco shells. You can put it over rice. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. It does call for taco shells, so I may or may not make tacos out of it. I'm not really sure. I have to look at my other recipes to find out what I'm making my taco shells for. And then you top it with cheese, the coriander / cilantro, or whatever you like. Sour cream. So it's pretty much Chipotle chicken tacos, basically. But that is all. If you guys did enjoy this video, then give it a big thumbs up for me. I probably haven't said that for a while. I will be doing more cooking videos. And now that the triplets are home, I'll probably end up pausing a lot and coming back, or stopping the video and coming back. Stay awesome.